Hello and welcome back to Lovett Film. I am your host, Jamie, and thanks for choosing my podcast once again. I say my, but there's a big team here in Lovett Film, and they all do something in particular to make this show happen. Today's guest is from Fallout Season 2. No, we did not get Walton Goggins, but we got a great actor. His name is Adam Faison. Adam is a fantastic actor who plays Ronnie McCurtry in Fallout Season 2. This is the character who's a vault dweller, who's kind of suspicious of Norm, who's played by Moises. Who of course is a great actor in his own right, and his character, there's definitely a lot of mystery about him, and there's a lot of questions I have about, say, what's it like to wear a vault suit, have you met Macaulay Culkin, and more. So without further ado, let's get into the interview.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How's it going over there? Is it cold?
Oh yeah, man, I'm in Ireland. It's always cold, it's always raining.
Oh, it's cold there.
What about you? Where you come from?
I'm originally from San Diego, but I am here in New York.
Cold as well, so.
Yes, it's really cold. We had, I think it was like a record-breaking temperature, I guess, the other day, like a couple days ago with this like snowstorm.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's been crazy, but I made some like ice cream in the snow. We got like a little like bowl and just like some salt on the bottom to make it cold, and then all the ingredients to make it colder, and then all the ingredients for the ice cream, and we just kept whisking it for like 10 or 15 minutes, and we made ice cream with the stuff.
What the hell? I
It
know.
was
I've
crazy.
heard you could do that with like condensed
Yeah.
milk, right? With ice. That is
Yes,
insane.
yeah, dude. Yeah.
Wow.
Like my friend Omar and I, we were just like, dude, like F it, when are we ever like actually gonna do this? We were like, yeah, it's proper cold. We should take advantage of that. So we brought everything out there, and then we just made it. I will say it took a lot longer than I anticipated. Like I thought it was gonna be like 5 minutes, especially with the salt on the bottom, supposed to
Yeah.
like kind of, conduct cold or whatever, I guess we'd say, just make it colder. But it took a long time. So,
Well,
but
was it good
it
in
was
the end? Did it taste nice?
it was good. Yeah, it tasted like McDonald's soft serve.
No way. Wow.
Yeah, it was actually really delicious. And I don't know what my camera did there. I don't know why it's been doing this thing where it's like
It's
it
cool though.
almost
It's
like
cool. I was
it
thinking
was
that
like
too.
a
I was
Mickey
like,
D's. Yeah, I
it's
was
like, does he have a dude on like Steadicam or something like that? Follow. It's like, geez, I better step up the game here for the
we're gonna
interview. You know.
left focus in 3, 2, 1 on Mickey D's. Yeah, they really, Mickey D's was looking okay now, and they're like, hey, we don't want you to yuck our yum, that don't give away our secrets. So they pulled out there. This is crazy. I don't know what's up with this new Zoom update, but it like
I saw
zooms
it.
in
It works though.
while
It works. I mean,
it's really
your
weird.
framing's good. It's grand. I
Good, there
think
we
as you
go.
move, it like just follows you or something. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what's going on. Is it's like as I lean, it's not doing it now, um,
If it
but yeah,
happens, it
yeah, it was
happens. It's. Oh, well, that's good. It's why you got to deal with Zoom. You know. First of all, Faison. Did I pronounce your second name
uh,
correctly?
Faison. It's okay.
Faison.
Yeah, there we
That's see.
go.
I
Yeah.
always ask because like I have one of those names too. My second name is Lovett, and people are like Lovett, love it, something like that. So it's important to get somebody's
thus
name
Lovett
right.
Films. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
it's
So
cool if you ask, like, I don't know. I always like ask the people, it's cool you do. You probably get that too. But it's like, I feel like some people never ask, and then they just say
they
it.
keep
And then you're
going.
like, yeah, one of my best friends. She like didn't know the way my name was pronounced for the longest time. She was like,
You're like
never asked me.
Faison.
Yeah, face on, like face off, face on, whatever. Yeah, but
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
thanks for the
It's a
intro.
cool name, though. It's a cool name. I most
Thank
recently
you.
saw you, of course, in Fallout Season 2, your character, Ronnie
Yes.
McCurtry. In terms of getting a role in a show like that, that's kind of one
Yeah.
of the best roles to play because you get to really be in the character. You're in the vault suit. You got the
Yes.
Pip Boy. Take us through. How'd you get the part?
Dude, so cool. I had actually taped for the show maybe like 2 or 3 times before, and I never heard back. And I think kind of the things that happens with the show is that basically it's just like, they like who they like, and it fits in the universe, as I've like found out later. Like they have sometimes like a Fallout look that they talk about, or like how they'll fit into the world. I don't know, you can see it. Like I was just catching up on the like seventh episode, but you can like see the sort of remnants of like the wastelanders when they're being like, microchipped basically, and you're like, they have a look to them, and then sort of the vaulties, we have our look too. And so it was like fascinating to like kind of see the world as we were auditioning for it, and then actually sort of like displayed like in the first season. I was like, wow, like this is what the vision is. So it was like we were just taping, and I taped this one, and I felt like really great about it. I felt like I made my choices, and I sort of like was like, you know what, I'm just gonna like tape it, let it go. That's kind of been like the conventional wisdom now, is just like sort of do the thing and then like let it go, because self tapes are just like such a necessary evil to the whole process, and most times you're not hearing back. So yeah, I did it, and then maybe like a couple weeks later I got a call from like my agents, and they were like, hey, uh don't go anywhere, you might be working this week. And I was like, for what? And they were like, Fallout. And I was like, holy crap, dude. I was geeking so hard. I was like, dude, okay. But then it's also the hard thing is like you don't want to get connected to it because it wasn't clear yet whether it was gonna be me or not. So they were like, just don't go anywhere. I was like, okay, I won't. And then and then like maybe 2 hours later, I was in the gym and I had no service. And so they're trying to call, and then I just got voicemail, and I was like, oh my God, dude, oh my God. I was like, so this could either be amazing or really bad. And I just got my hopes up for nothing. And I called, and they were like, hey, so they want you to work on Fallout. They're rewriting this section of the story, and they're just moving quickly. And I was like, okay, like what, am I just working on a day? And they're like, no, they want you actually for these like 5 episodes. And I was like, what the heck? So it was crazy. It's just like you only get one scene, and it's like, you know, maybe somewhat what's going to happen, but you have no clue kind of what you're even auditioning for. There's so much sort of secrecy in the process. So I just was like, holy crap. Like, not only do I get to be on this show, I get to have somewhat of an arc. But it wasn't clear what I was doing at the time because they were still fleshing everything out. And mind you, this was fascinating because like they had already been filming since November. And then this was in, I want to say March. And so March, April time, I think it was when I got that. So I was like, this was at the very tail end of when they were pretty much finishing up filming. So I was like, wow. So that was sort of the excitement, and also the like the sort of just like surprise of it all as we were starting like within 2 days. So then I had my fitting, I want to say the next day or the day after that, and then I had yeah, work like maybe 2 days later, which was so crazy.
I'd
So
say
it
just
was,
such
yeah.
a whirlwind into such a, oh, what I would want to say is one of the biggest sort of known video game adaptations that there's ever been. I mean, I know there's The Last of Us and stuff like that, but I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
Fallout Season 1 was brilliant. It was so good. And I mean, as
yeah,
myself, I'm a fan of the games too.
yeah.
Huge community of fans. I mean, I think there was even a festival over in the States which was just all about Fallout a while ago. It's
Hell
crazy.
yeah,
Were you aware
dude.
of Fallout? Like did you know the games or?
Yeah, yeah. So I had played Fallout 4 actually. I kind of went like in a weird direction because yeah, I picked up kind of like later. But I played Fallout 4 like maybe a couple years ago. And then I loved it. I love the world building. I love just weirdly like the colors, like especially the vault suits. I think that was like the most nerd out moment for me, was just like getting to put that like Vault Tech suit on, and just like in that blue. When I found I was doing this and it was going to be New Vegas, I was like, I really do want to uh yeah, basically like play New Vegas. So then basically I went through that and I played New Vegas. and I'm pretty much almost done with the game, but I get why people were like, you have to play that. Like, if
Yeah.
anyone, you have to play New Vegas because it's just the world building in that game is like so fun, and it's just been a really good time.
The sets too were so accurate to the games. I mean, like you said, New Vegas, they completely recreated it
Yeah.
for this season. And in your scenes in
Yeah.
particular, like in your first appearance when you wake up from this, cryostasis with all your vault dwellers and Moses' character Norm is, taking
Yes.
leadership. That
Yes.
set was incredible. It really looked like, say, Fallout 4, like you were talking about. Was that a real set, or you never know these days? Like, is it real?
Yeah.
Is it not? But it was real.
Yes. 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 So the sets were pretty much all practical. So the way that like Jonathan Nolan likes to work is he really likes everything like I guess most on film. So I think that's a big thing for him is shooting on film. And also he enjoys like practical effects and having everything like mostly be able to be there on the day. So what was really cool about being inside of the vault was that we were coming out of those cryo chamber pods like in real time. Those were real working pods, and so just being able to look around and see all like the practicality was insane. It reminded me of like on Hellraiser, we pretty much on that movie did everything practically as well. So it was like, seeing is believing. You're just right in front of it, so it's like a real immersive experience to be in there and like actually feel like you're somewhat in the game. Like I just felt like I was watching it. I was like, I feel like I'm coming out of the cryo chamber in like, the Fallout 4 game. I just was like, I just feel like it was such a cool experience and having like the smoke come out and then having like the frost on my face and everything. And it was insane. It was just like a dream, man. It was so cool.
And during those scenes, was Jonathan Nolan? I know he's an executive producer on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, working on writing like The Dark Knight and stuff like that. He's legendary. Was he
Yes.
there, like on set?
For our storyline, he was not. I think a lot of the first season was because he was directing those, but I think he might have been in sort of the other storylines. He was a little bit more sort of like on set, but we had Geneva, who is one of the co-showrunners with Graham. She was on like our storyline set like most of the time. And so she was the one kind of like giving us the character notes and sort of like walking us through the whole process of like where we got to and where we're going because it's so much shrouded in secrecy. Like we really only get our storylines, like us as the recurring cast. Like we get our storylines and then we don't know what's really going on or how it ties into the other ones. So it's like she was super helpful in that and sort of also like kind of carrying out any like vision sort of visual requests or whatever that Jonah might have had or things like that, but they're so good at the world building. Like it was just so cool to be a part of it. And yeah, I really like I look back and I'm just like it's actually insane how much of a yeah, how much of a accurate depiction that they did of the games. It's so cool to be in there.
It reminds me like what you just said there about like being told a little bit more about, say, how your scenes in particular fit into the overall story. Like your character Ronnie, he's an absolute
Yeah.
mystery from the get go. Like I'm caught up. I watched episode 7 today, and
Yes.
he you don't know anything about him from the minute. Obviously, you can't give anything away if you did know. But from the minute he comes out of a pod, he's not even in a vault suit. He's in a shirt and tie. And I was just thinking, I
Yeah.
was like, what,
Yeah.
why is he not in a vault suit? So immediately that's something weird. And then
Yes.
he's actually the personal assistant to Bud, to Bud. And he's just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
what is going on? What does he know? Like, did,
Right.
say, Geneva give you any background on what is going on? Or was she just like, yeah, he knows some stuff?
Yeah, it was cool because when I came in, I didn't really know much about how I factored into it. I knew about the lore of like sort of the things from the games, but I was sort of like, how much does Ronnie know as opposed to how much does like me as like just Adam know? Like, am I informing too much? And she's like, I think that you should go with like your instinct of being an assistant of like knowing that you've been around and you've been like sort of lurking at meetings and things. And she's like, I think that follow That sort of almost, it's very cryptic, but it's like very like, it's like, follow the sort of like what would it be like if you were like eight 8 years or whatever as an assistant. And like that also image to me was super funny. It's just like, what does it say about a dude who like stayed around for 8 years and has like never really been promoted, but he's just sort of always around? I'm like, what kind of like dynamic does that create for somebody? And like, what does that sort of cause him to want to like maybe snoop for and try to like figure out? You know what I'm saying? So that became like a through line for me, at least character wise, from what she was kind of giving me, was just like, you know, you've been here for a while. And so like you're going to sort of like be always like privy to things, but like never really like, I feel like in them, but you're always just sort of lurking around. So that created like a good through line for me, because then it was like, when we came out of the cryo chambers and this guy is telling us about our boss being dead, and I'm like, wait, what the hell? Like, this guy I've been spending so much time with, and how would I never hear about this man? Like, I've never heard about Moises's character. So I think it was a cool like background to have, of just like having that image of knowing like the main thing that matters is that he's just been around for so long as an assistant, like,
Yeah.
so,
What does
and
that
maybe it's
do to
just something
someone?
that's
Why is he so crazy? I mean,
right,
why are all the
right,
Vault Dweller? I
yeah,
mean, from what we've
yeah,
seen, like you were in episodes 2, 4, 5, and 7 at the time,
yes,
as you know, this video releases. That's what we've seen
yes,
so far, and we still don't know. I mean, you've been in it a lot, but I mean, at the
right,
moment, your character's in the Vault Tech building, and you just had this big fight with Moises' character, and he's
yes,
still like he was knocked out. And spoiler if you haven't
yes,
seen the newest episode, but you just caught him
yeah,
alerting, say, trying to get through to his dad Hank and stuff like
yeah.
that. But what was it like doing that fight scene with Moises? Was that fun? Where he had the lamp
Oh,
and
dude.
you were trying to knock him out?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was so it was like exhilarating, because it's like, you're seeing little spark from the computer. You're kind of like holding it taut, and obviously it like can't be like a full, like we have like, stunt things as well. There's the cord that's the actual like taut one that has a little bit more like strength to it, and then the other one that like kind of has more give. But it was cool. We worked with the stunt team like pretty actively. They would sort of walk us through the movement of what they saw as being, and also it's like, what would two vaulties like trying to fight look like? And technically, I guess I was from the like pre-war world, so like I guess I would have had more like fight maybe experience, or like seen more of that. But like, with Moises, he's like, okay, I'm just like kind of grabbing a lamp and wishing for the best, so it's like, what are these two guys doing? And so it was like, he's like poking me, like jousting me with this like lamp, and I'm kind of coming at him with it. And in a way, it was fun to get that messiness. Like, that was what the stunt team was really big on, was like, they were like, we don't want it to be like the most perfectly choreographed thing. We want it to be kind of messy, like two people who don't exactly know how to fight, but like they're going to like, scrap to the end. And so it was really cool. And Moy is like so into it. Like, he gets so like focused. Like, he kind of really locks in when we're filming and stuff. And he like also is very calm. And so like he just kind of like, when we're in between takes, he's like reserves his energy for, when like it actually is game time, and he was like, I really want to go for this one. And so that energy kind of like obviously influenced me too, because I was like, okay, like we really want to play for keeps here. And it was cool too, because then we didn't have to do it too many times. We did it maybe a few times. We got the like breakaway glass part. And we didn't have to do it like a bunch of times, because I think we were just really in it and we wanted to like get it down. So yeah, we did it on like half speed or something like that. It's like quarter and then half, and then we try it full, and then without the cameras. And I think we bring in the cameras after that. And Lisa Joy Nolan directed that episode. She was really cool. She's very good at a lot of the technical aspects too, of the things, the way that things look. And so she was super helpful with that. And just sort of like bringing the good energy and like keeping us locked in.
Yeah.
So it was really fun.
Sorry for the interruption. If you're enjoying Lovett Film, why not show your support by subscribing to the channel, clicking the bell notifications, giving this video you're watching right now a like, and leave a comment, good or bad. You know, we can take the abuse. Help us grow so I can keep giving you these interviews. Interviews like stars of Red Dead Redemption 2, actors in movies, Dexter Resurrection, you name it. Do follow our socials on Instagram. It's all just at Lovett Film. You find us very, very easily on Instagram, TikTok, and of course, if you're watching here on YouTube, we have it on YouTube. We have Spotify too, and Apple Podcasts. Now back to the interview. It was fun to watch too. It felt so real, you know. As you said, it really felt like one dude who maybe had some experience. And Moises' character is like, "Here's a lamp," you know. It was really fun to watch. Now, I wish I could ask you more about, say, where this is gonna go, because as I said, last time we saw your character and the rest of the Vault Dwellers were like talking about killing Moises' character Norm, and then you just caught him on the speaker. But I know you can't tell me what. It's just.
By the way. Yeah, Moises killed that scene where he's like trying to find Lucy, and then Lucy's on the golf cart, and it's like the way that was spliced together. It was so intense. It was so intense. And it was just so like yeah, it was so well built. Like I feel like they built to that moment so well, and with the Moises like and Norm's character, kind of Norm kind of like throughout trying to get in contact, and then like finally when he does, it's like you're waiting like on bated breath. It's like, are they gonna answer? And like meanwhile Lucy's doing all of her stuff like over on the other side, so it's like it's kind of like the last thing on her mind. And so it was so fun. But yeah, it's like I guess we'll kind of see when we come in and we're like, oh, he defied the orders. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that like Ronnie was lied to. And I think like he's such a loyal member of Vault-Tec that it's like he would die for them. He literally would, I believe, would die for them, because he's just such a loyal guy. And so I think that having somebody lie to him like that so blatantly, like especially when it's something that he's like dedicated his whole soul and life to, I think is just something of a transgression that he can't quite wrap his mind around. Like he's sort of just like so incensed by that like he's just only focused on killing him, really. I think like, and I think he's a little bit strategic with it too, right? It's like I think he knows he can't just full out kill him. I think that he has to like really recruit other people with the sort of Vault-Tec handbook mindset to like bring him to justice. So I think it's like Ronnie is definitely like the personification of what happens when Vault-Tec employees really follow the loyalty, and when they really are like pushed to their limits, or somebody tests those boundaries and those limits, like what happens.
Such a fun show to work on, and like I mean, so jealous as a fan of the show, and a fan of the games since I was a kid. Like for years been playing these. What's it like on set? As in, does anybody play the games like on set? Is there the odd PlayStation set up where there's like New Vegas on? Like, does that happen?
Dude, it would be cool if we were just like having like a little like Twitch stream set up with all the players.
Keep you immersed into the universe,
Dude, it would actually be like amazing if we did that. I mean, and it'd be like we could, technically this is a part of the work experience. This is research. Yeah, no, unfortunately it's like no time, because these productions are so big and there's so many parts. But it would be fun if we all like kind of gamed together in some way. But it's like I think some have played, and then other ones I think it's like they've been very clear on like, it's like, okay, for me this is like I want to like first and foremost like create the relationship of the thing in front of me and not forget that, because sometimes I think people can get like maybe lost in the lore, or maybe know too much maybe that the character might not know, and it might not be like in service immediately to what's in front of you. So I get that, like I'm kind of just like a nerd and I like the sort of I just like the world building and I also just like the research of things too. Like it's been fun to play New Vegas with trying to play all the different outcomes. Like there was one where it was like earlier actually in the game where this guy, you come up to him and he's crying, and the
Yeah.
courier, like he was the courier, you go up and you're like, hey, what are you crying about? And he's like, my daughter's up there on the mountain, on the ridge, like you just have to go get her. But there are all these little they're not the rad scorpions, they're the help me out here, the
Deathclaw,
fish looking
Radroach.
the fish looking things,
Oh man,
geckos, the geckos.
Gecko,
Yes,
yeah.
the geckos. There are all these geckos up on the ridge, and he's like, "Go get my daughter up there." I'm like, "Okay, bet. I'm gonna go up and help this dude with his thing, whatever. I'm like gonna earn these karma points." And then I get up there, and all these geckos coming at me, and then I think it's him. He comes up and he sees that basically I've cleared the path. There's no daughter there. And then he kills me. He's like, there's no daughter, bitch. I just wanted the treasure. And then he killed me. And I was like, damn, dude. And so it was just sort of like one of those fun, like dupe moments where you're like, oh my God, this is in the fabric of this game, like of this world where you're
That
like,
is Fallout.
you can't understand. Yeah, that's Fallout. It's like I couldn't understand how this works until experiencing something like that where it's like you think you're getting one thing but it actually ends up being another, and so it's like and you think you're gonna like curry favor with this and then it ends up just actually backfiring, and that's the wasteland.
Yeah.
And so I think like little moments like that really help me understand like how somebody could be something totally on the surface but holding something much like darker and more like nefarious underneath. And I just think it was like one of the funniest dupes ever.
That's great,
Damn
man.
him.
That is the wasteland, you know. Like
Yeah.
I can't believe like in a show like this the amount of actors that are in it are just so talented. Now I know from what we've seen, your character, you've been say with the Vault Dwellers, you're with Moises' character Norm, and you guys are
Yeah.
all phenomenal actors. Did you get a chance
Thanks,
to like
man.
meet any of the other casts on the other storylines? Like, did you meet Walton
Yeah.
Goggins or Ella Purnell?
I met Walton at the premiere very briefly. It's super busy, as you can imagine, just like mingling, like meeting and greeting all of the people and stuff. But he was super, super cool, really, really cool guy. And then Ella, I met at the rap party very briefly. It's funny because it's like we're in such different storylines, and like so it's like you could be on the show but have no idea that the other person is in their storyline. Like you just don't even know. So I'm like, oh, I'm in Moises's, and I think she gets the script, so she somewhat has an idea. But I mean, it's like it's so funny. You could be like a totally random, like it's kind of almost like indicative of the games. It's like you could be in a totally different area in the wasteland, and kind of like in that one episode with Moy where they're meeting Barb and gosh, what's her name? Barv and Majun, and he's like, what? She's like, there, the great cons have been taken down and all these things. And he's like, wait, what the hell? And he's like, I don't even know what any of this means. So it's like, because we're so siloed almost in a way. But yeah, she was super cool. And then I haven't met Kyle McLaughlin, but he's absolutely murdering it in this season, and it's cool to kind of like know that we're tangentially related in the lore, having been sort of like buds before the bombs dropping and everything. Was kind of cool to know that we're like related in that sense, and see the way that they've like digitally sort of
Yeah.
youthifized him or whatever. It's been really fun
So good,
to
yeah.
see. Yeah, it's great. And yeah, and then I'm trying to think, oh dude, Frances Turner, oh my God, she's
Yeah.
awesome. And I just had to give her flowers. She's just acting down in this show. She's so so brilliant. And Aaron, of course, too.
Aaron,
Aaron,
yeah,
he's
of course.
awesome. I got to actually talk with him for a little bit
He just
at
got
the
power armor this episode. This like a new one.
Dude,
So
it's so
cool. Yeah,
cool. My
NCR.
God,
Well, oh
man.
man, I was just like, yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. Ba, 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 ba. You hear the
Yeah.
music in the background,
Oh,
I'm
so
just
cool.
like, dude, come on, leveled up, dude.
Badass.
I'm so hyped for him. And dude, getting his whole story in Shady Sands was so freaking cool. Like his
Yeah.
backstory and just getting to know like where he came from and like the way that he sort of operates through that is I think it's just really helpful just like as a viewer and just like
Yeah.
as a fan too.
So
You're like,
good.
oh my God, like the backstory building is just so cool. So yeah, like little bits here and there of like sort of at like the court sort of like big events like either the premiere, the Macaulay Culkin was super cool. I got to talk to him for a bit
Wow.
at the premiere, and he was so awesome. Yes, yeah. And he was telling me how he goes on a lot of like trips to do cool like commercials abroad, which was really cool. I imagine I was like, dude, but during the Christmas time, he must be just like raking it in because it's like, he's
Yeah.
everywhere. It's so
Every
cool,
commercial.
man. Yeah.
That's
Like
so
it's
cool that
so
like from a role
yeah.
you get to meet like Macaulay Culkin. It's so
Right.
random. Like in
It
Fallout,
is.
you would never think that's where you're gonna meet Macaulay Culkin.
No, man. I'm like, and it's such cool casting. Like hearing also of him just talking about how it like kind of came across, and he was like, I watching the show over. He's like, I'd love to do this show, and then it like kind of came in, and it was like, God, he's just killing it in that role, and I hope we get to see more of him too. But I'm like, yeah, and I love that sort of scene and how they were flashing back between the sort of like the lighter and everything, and um
So good.
yeah, it was so good.
Adam, I'm such a big
I
fan, man.
love it.
Like
Yeah.
you're whether it be Hellraiser or anything else you've done, you're a great actor. I mean, thank you so much for taking the time to come on to
Thanks.
Lovett Film and talking about, say, stuff I love, which is Fallout and making this TV show, being an actor, being in that crazy world,
Yes.
meeting Macaulay Culkin for
Yes.
no reason. It's so
Yeah.
interesting to me, man. But before we go, is there anything you want to talk about here or promote or tell people to go watch or anything like that?
Oh my gosh. I think just enjoy the finale episode of Fallout. I honestly think it's just like, I think we've all worked so hard on it, and the crew worked tirelessly through the fires, which was insane. A lot of people lost their homes, and I think that it's just something that like we put so much love into, and I know a lot of heart and everything. And I think that like, it speaks for itself. Like, this has come to such a head in this season, Steph's storyline. It's just everything's been so cool to watch. So I think like, I would just like love if people continued the journey, and maybe if they didn't watch week by week, maybe they want to binge it all, but just to like, watch Fallout and say tell your friends when everybody already knows about, everybody knows about our small little indie project.
Oh no!
Yeah,
There's a festival, man. There's a festival. No, but dude, I can't
yes.
thank you enough for coming on. It was genuinely
Thank
so nice to
you.
meet you and to talk to
Thank
you.
you.
But yeah, have a good day, man. Stay warm
You
and
too.
cold, and enjoy playing the
Thank
game,
you.
New Vegas.
All right, brother. All right, have a good day.
You too. Welcome back to Love It or Hate It. It's me, Jamie, one of your hosts. I'm also here with another host. We have Chris.
Hey guys.
Thank you so much to Adam Faison for coming on to the show today. I had a great time talking to Adam. I'm a fan of Fallout. Been playing the games for years. Don't hate me in the comments, but my favorite game is Fallout 4, okay? That was the first one I played, and I know people are like, well, it's a good game, but it's not a good Fallout. Shut up, right? I don't care. Listen, the only reason you say that is that you played it in 2010 and you're blinded by this nostalgia and you think it's the best thing ever. It's not the best game ever. It is good, though.
I'm afraid you're going to be called Dujan or something in the comments,
I was
but we'll
born
get
in
back
the-
to that. We'll get back to
I
that
was
later.
born in the 90s, so the people from 2012 who were born then saying that, they can just... Anyway, Chris.
Right, so Adam, what do we think of Adam?
Adam was great. He was such a cool guy. He had a PS5 behind him, so he plays the games. By the way, New Vegas is a good game. I do like that Fallout. I just like the fourth one more. But yeah, Adam was great. It was so interesting to hear what it was like actually wearing the vault suit and having a prop like a Pip-Boy on your arm, and like being in these big sets, like where he woke up in his first scene in the second episode of season 2, where he's in the actual vault and Moises Norm, who's there, is basically waking him up and stuff like that. But what I loved about it is it was a real set. It wasn't green screen. They actually, you can tell heavy inspiration from the Fallout 4 with the set design and stuff like that. But yeah, Adam was great. What's your experience with Fallout, Chris? What's your favorite game?
Yeah, so I think I discovered Fallout. Unfortunately, I'm also kind of new gen here. Around the fourth game when that came out, that was my first game, but it is not my favorite game. But yeah, no, I played that game to oblivion. I'm actually replaying it right now with the show. My girlfriend is playing for the first time. It's great to watch her play it. Yeah, no, love Fallout. I remember after playing the fourth game, I just wanted to consume everything Fallout. So I got New Vegas on the PC because let's be honest, the PS3 version is quite bad, barely playable, and completed that. Then I played Fallout 3. I did complete that, and then I haven't played the older games, which I do want to. It's just they're kind of hard to actually get because they're only on Windows, and you probably have to emulate them. Maybe they're not really optimized for new systems. But Fallout, absolutely love the whole concept of Fallout. It's set in a alternate 50s. Like I love that so much. The music's great. The show I've been really enjoying. It's definitely taken. It's taken all the good parts of the games. What are your thoughts though on the new season compared to season 1? I'm not the biggest fan of it right now, but I'm curious to see. I haven't seen a new episode either, but I'm curious to see where it's going. I obviously love Adam in it, but yeah, it's definitely different from season 1. What do you think?
I do like it very much. I wouldn't say I like it less than season 1. I think what they're doing is smart. They're trying to do something different. They're trying to tell Walton Goggins' character, Cooper Howard, the ghoul, in his state of mind for the whole season. And Chris, at the time of this recording, has not seen the newest episode. So I do think his opinion on season 2 is about to be heavily altered. But I won't spoil it. And people in the comments, you can comment away. By the time this releases, Chris will have seen it. But wow, that last episode was fantastic. I loved it, and I love the show so far. I think if you have Jonathan Nolan on board, although he's not directing as much this season, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, just quickly before I go on to that, I just want to go back to what you're saying about season 2. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the pacing. It just feels a bit slower than season 1. But they've done a great job in season 1. It feels like a Fallout 5, and the pacing was great. I just feel like it's just a bit slower this season, and it feels like they're stretching out plot lines for the sake of stretching them out. But I do think all the action scenes, all the scenes with Howard are very cool. Like the moment I think it was 2 episodes ago now, where Lucy punches him out with the power fist out of the window. So goddamn cool. And in the next episode, when he literally is pulled out by what is revealed to be our first super mutant appearance on the show. So I got to say that, yeah, look, I don't hate it, but I feel like the pacing's a bit different. You're asking me about the games though. New Vegas is better than 4, man. I'm sorry, but no, it is, because 4. Yeah, it's the graphics are great.
Listen, man, give me this.
Let me finish.
Look, I need to make a point, right? Look, everyone's saying, yeah, the story could be better, but you take New Vegas right now and you try play it, you're gonna be bored in 5 minutes. The mechanics are from 2010. It's not fun to play. If you play the 4th game, it's really enjoyable because the mechanics are all new, and yes, it has 10 billion glitches and it can be really annoying and Todd Howardisms and all that. But look, yeah, New Vegas isn't fun to play anymore.
This is funny. Having only one microphone at the moment is making us actually not be able to interrupt each other. But what I was gonna say is I completely disagree with you there, because every day there's new people replaying New Vegas. I was replaying it the other day. The story, okay, the graphics and the gameplay, I will say, is better than 4. It's definitely more playable. But the story of New Vegas is so much more complex, because you have the original writers from Fallout 1 and 2, the people from Obsidian, because basically the way New Vegas was made, and it's actually quite relevant to Fallout Season 2 as well, is the fact that Bethesda made Fallout 3, and they then were moving on to Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 6, 5 as their next project. But the problem was there was a big lull in between projects, and they needed to get another Fallout game out, but they were working on Skyrim. So what they done was they got Obsidian, which were originally Interplay, were the people that made Fallout 1 and 2, and Obsidian were basically the remnants of Interplay, and they were like, hey, we have a game engine, it's called whatever the engine was called, but we can't make the game. So basically they made the story of the game using Bethesda's game engine, and it was the best amalgamation of people. So what I think is missing with Fallout 4 is just that story element of, I feel like the factions are better in New Vegas. It's more complex. It's a bit more like the silent protagonist. I think definitely works a bit better. I'm sorry, but Nate's voice gets a bit annoying.
How funny is like human as the day I was born?
Yeah, okay. There is some funny sound bites, but you can use. It's like when you're playing, I don't know, D&D or any role playing type of game. You can use your imagination. Oh, this is what my character sounds like.
D&D, that's another really boring, overrated game.
Oh man, you're gonna get. Okay, guys. So you might have noticed this video has turned into kind of a soap opera with the camera quality. It's only just because we're in a studio. Well, not studio, a room right now, which basically is has a lot of heat in it, so it's making the camera lens or sensor foggy, yada yada. But anyway, what I was saying, yeah, there is just a lot more factions. It's a lot more complex in New Vegas. Your actions feel like they actually have consequences. You can just take out the leader of the Legion if you want, and like you're allowed to. It's like in Fallout 4, if you try take out Fodder before his quest ends, it doesn't let you. He's invincible. So I feel like you have a lot more choice in New Vegas. You can actually choose, spoilers for New Vegas by the way, to not side with any of the factions and take over Vegas yourself, which is like Fallout 4 didn't have that option. You have to side with the Brotherhood or the Minutemen or whatever, when you should have been able to just take the Wasteland for yourself. So that is why I think New Vegas is better. But obviously they're both great games. I don't hate Fallout 4 by any means. Like a lot of people a lot of old Fallout fans hate it, and they hate the show, the Bethesda show. And I'm like, guys, if it weren't for Bethesda bringing back Fallout with Fallout 3, Fallout was gone, by the way. Like Interplay was gone as a studio, and Bethesda bought the rights to Fallout for Fallout 3. If they didn't do that, you wouldn't have Fallout today. So I don't hate them. Look, they're doing some questionable things, Fallout 76, for example. But yeah, I think they're still a good studio at heart. They just, maybe need to put a little bit more effort into polishing their games and, creating a new game engine, please. Jamie, any thoughts?
Nah, nothing else. I like both games, by the way. I played New Vegas. It actually is a fantastic game. I just prefer Fallout 4. But other than that, I can't thank Adam Faison enough for coming on to the show today. It was great. I love that show on Amazon. It's so good. I can't wait to see how it wraps up next week in the finale. And yeah, I'm loving every minute of it. So to talk to somebody who worked on the production, that was badass. So anyway, I think that wraps it up for the episode today. Chris, thank you so much, folks, for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, make sure to click the bell notification, and continue to watch us and help us grow. We're a relatively small channel here, so it means a lot that you're sticking around, giving us these good comments, and staying here for these interviews. Next week, we have a guest announcement for people who are watching YouTube. This won't be revealed till Wednesday and all the other socials. But if you're watching this video, next week we are interviewing Cameron Beacondova. That's Selena Kyle from Gotham. So if you're a fan of the channel, stick around for next Friday when that's released. And yeah, can't wait for you guys to see the interview with Cameron.
See you soon, folks.